Hello! Well, as you can see by my change of clothes, the marathon is over. I have showered. I actually had time to take a little nap. And I am back to put the finishing touches on this video for today. Well, we'll just start off with the marathon. It was a very good experience. Really enjoyed it. Would highly recommend this marathon to anybody who's looking to do a marathon. Alright, without any further ado, my time. As I had mentioned, I was hoping to beat 4 hours and 30 minutes. I did not beat 4 hours and 30 minutes. I did, though, come in with a time of 4 hours, 35 minutes, and 59 seconds, which is a new personal record for me. Previous personal record was 4 hours and 44 minutes and 20 some odd seconds. So it's a little over 9 minutes difference that I beat it by. So very good. When I left off with you folks recently, though, I just stated about not doing anything new. I broke my own rule. But there's a reason for it, and let me explain that to you now. So anyway, they were telling us to come to the marathon 90 minutes early, which I did. Which was a good thing because it took over an hour to park. Now this was a record crowd. They had like 13,000 people, so they've never dealt with this big of a crowd. But wow, that was a long wait. So anyway, by the time I got out of my car and parked, it's still in a good 15-mile hike to the staging area where all the porta-johns are, which of course at this point I gotta go again. So I get to the porta-johns. There's 7 minutes before the marathon starts, and of course there's more than 7 people ahead of me. So I'm like 1 or 2 people away from actually getting into the porta-john, and I hear, bang, there's the cannon, marathon starts. Well, I gotta go. I got a timing chip, it's fine. I'll still get my time. Get into the porta-john, get back out, run out to the start, and I actually caught the 5-hour people who were just making it to the starting area at that point. So I catch them and pass them. Then I come up to the 4:45 people, catch them, pass them. Then I come up to the 4:30 people. Well, at that point, I had decided that I was just going to stick with the 4:30 people, since 4:30 was the time I wanted to do. Initially, what I wanted to do was start with the 4:20 people, because I figured their running pace would be closer to what I would want to do, being that all of my marathons, and all my marathon training over 15 miles anyway, has always been in a run-walk. And it's a 7-to-1 ratio. Run 7 minutes, walk for a minute. And I figured, okay, the running pace of the 4-hour, 20-minute people is going to be what I want, my running pace. And then I'll just do my walk breaks as I had planned, knowing that the 4:20 people were going to be long gone as soon as I started walking. Well, I wasn't going to ever catch them. They were still way too far ahead. And I would have expended too much energy to do it. So I decided to stick with the 4:30 people. Here's what's new. What the pace groups do at this marathon is they do a particular time, and the pacer keeps that time through the entire marathon. No stops. No walking. No slow jogging. Nothing. It's the same pace the whole marathon. So I tried that, and I made it all the way to 21 miles without stopping, which is incredible. After 21 miles, I did a couple of walk breaks at the hydration stations, just to make sure that I was actually getting my fluids, because at that point it was starting to get pretty warm. I don't know what the temperature was. It was only supposed to be 75 when we finished, but it felt warmer than 75 when I finished. So I was actually able to make it, and like I said, I got a new PR, 4:35:59, with basically no walk breaks, except for probably like 4 at the end. And that was really just long enough to make sure that I got all my fluids down and then toss the cup and get going. So pretty incredible. Wasn't planning on doing that, and as I mentioned earlier, you know, my cold had ratcheted up. By the time I got to the start, I was already having like the very minor hot and cold flashes that you get sometimes when you got a cold, and the back of my throat was sore. So I did this sucker with a cold. Just incredible. It's hard to put into words how I felt at the end of the marathon, having run it so differently than I normally would. But I'm going to give it a try. Oh! No, seriously, little humor there. It was just an awesome feeling. I may try that again. Part of me wonders if I had done a run walk. Is it possible I might have been able to run faster because I would have been a little more rested? I don't know. But a really great pace leader. Her name was Nancy. She was from Michigan. So I think she drove a little further than me to get here. Actually, the guy in my group was from Alaska, and he definitely wins the I've driven the furthest to come to this marathon award. Anyway, so I crossed the line, and I see Nancy. I give her a big hug and thank her for helping me achieve a new PR. And I give her the whole story, all my marathons or run walks, and until today, my best marathon was 4 hours 44 minutes. Well, she was really pleased with that. So pleased that even though I didn't make 4 hours and 30 minutes, I got the sign. How cool is that? There's our pace. So I get to go home. I didn't make 4 hours and 30 minutes, but I get the sign. Pretty cool. I kind of feel like that joke, you know, what kind of an idiot goes out with a cold and tries to run a 4:30 marathon. Here I am, and here's my sign. But it's pretty cool. So now let's go on to the other stuff. So, of course, the medal, which I have around my neck, it's a big sucker, and I'm going to lean forward so you can actually see this. That's the medal. And if I flip it, trying to get my right and my left on this camera here, it's about an inch thick. It's a big sucker. It's a lot of metal in this medal. There is something on the reverse, a little stylized Air Force symbol. So very nice. They gave us a patch, which is similar to the medal design, which is very nice. And then I have to stand up for this. They actually gave us a towel. It's kind of cool. It's just a small towel, but start at this end here. There's marathon, and go right across. And there you are. So, pretty cool. Legs feel much better right now, but I'm tired. It's time for me to go to bed, and it's time for me to end this video. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea as to what kinds of things go into a marathon. I'm going to go and drink some more orange juice and get as much vitamin C as I can into me so that I can get rid of this cold as fast as possible. Well, that's all I've got. Again, thank you very much for sticking with this video. Probably a little bit longer than the first one. And we'll be seeing you soon. See ya.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.